So me, about 3 years ago, I go online. I go into Redbubble for the first time. I'm blown away. I haven't set up any accounts. I've made zero sales. I'm brand new. Look at all these different products, featured artists. I'm thinking, huh, I could probably do this. I jump over to Etsy. I start looking at t-shirt designs. I start looking at, different products. This guy's got 14,000 sales. Over 2,000 people, 2392 have favorited this shop. Huh. And I just picked this at random. So I'm looking at this a few years back. I'm going on to Teepublic. Funny t-shirts. All of these are designed by regular people. Now there's tons of them. But I'm thinking, what do they know that I don't? How are they able to make these sales? I go on to Amazon. I find a t-shirt shop. It says here, visit the t-shirt store. So I click on visit the t-shirt store. Oh my goodness. Not only do these guys have sections upon sections for their shirt store, look at their picture. They've got staff. Are you kidding me? How big is this operation? So obviously my mind was blown. Redbubble, Etsy, Teepublic, merch by Amazon. Could I ever make sales? Could I ever upload designs and actually make sales? Well, that was me 3 years ago. And after a lot of hard work, a lot of time and energy, a lot of learning, a lot of failing, here are some tips and tricks that I use to reach 10,000 individual sales. I noticed this the other day. I was adding them up, literally sitting there watching TV, and I added them up from my different POD sites, print on demand sites, and I was over 10,000. And I thought, wow, I think I need to do a video about some tips and tricks that I've used over the years and some failures that I've done as well, some lessons learned. And I've got one concept near the end of the video that I think you might find really helpful and that you will come in helpful during your darker days when you're starting to doubt yourself. This helped me very much, and hopefully it'll help you too. So you know what? Let's get into it. Let's go. So we definitely live in a crazy time. We've got more opportunity than ever before. Our entire world is our marketplace now. We're not in a local mall selling to a local neighborhood. We've got billions of people available to purchase items. And I've just got a small sampling here of the print on demand sites that you could take a look at. So when I first started, I signed up for a couple and I just kind of got my feet wet, and I made some mistakes along the way. And the big one is I immediately got super excited about, well, I can just upload football shirts, or I could just upload superhero shirts. I would strongly recommend that you avoid trademarked images, copyrighted images. The lure will be there, and if you go on these POD sites like Redbubble, like Teepublic, even Etsy, you're going to find that there are lots of trademark infringed designs. I would just say steer clear. There's nothing worse than investing a year or two of your life into something and then get your account banned. And I can speak from experience. That happened to me. Okay, I was up on Etsy. I made well over 1,000 sales, and then my account was banned. And again, I've got a whole video about Etsy and my struggles with Etsy, but I would encourage you though, if you're doing print on demand, at least understand the concept of opening up a Printful store and opening up an Etsy shop, because it can be really lucrative under the right circumstances. So I would just say avoid all of this, okay? Stick to original designs that you yourself are creating. Here's another thing that can get you down is, you go into Redbubble and you look up something and you're just going to see massive results. This was another big mistake that I made early on, is I started going and uploading funny t-shirts, funny cat t-shirts. Well, you're going to be one little tiny teardrop in the ocean. There's not much point in looking at these genres that have just hundreds of thousands and millions of designs. So what I would encourage you to do, and I've got some tips here later on in this video, but I'll spoiler alert, look for a niche that actually people are interested in. So there's all sorts of niches on Redbubble that you can look after. And I've got videos upon videos about how to do that. One of the things I like doing are niche marketing videos. So I would encourage you to subscribe to this channel, and you can see more and more videos about niche marketing. So here's a quick tip about just, if you're thinking about getting started and you're not sure what to do, it can be a little overwhelming. I know for me, it was overwhelming at first. There's so many options, there's so many videos, there's so many different things. So what I would recommend, and this is what I did, is just you got to get started somehow. You've got to get some motion and some momentum. So I would say get started. Understand you're not going to be perfect, but I would say sign up for every free print-on-demand site that you can find. It's be like Redbubble, Teepublic, Society6, open up an Etsy shop. Just understand a lot of this stuff. You're not going to be making sales out of the gate, but you're understanding how it works. So think of it, and this is what I did, and I think this was really helpful. I said to myself, I don't expect to make any sales for the first year. Okay, so I'm going to be working an hour a night every night for a year, and maybe 2 hours on the weekends, and I'm going to school. That's the way I thought of it in my mind. I'm going to school for free to learn how this works, because the growth on this can be exponential. And what I mean by that is you can start off small, and then as you gain more followers and as you gain more likes and as you insert social media into your life, and maybe open up a Pinterest account, and maybe open up a second and a third POD platform, and all of a sudden you've got an inventory of 300, 400, 2,000 designs that are high quality, and all of a sudden you're splaying them across multiple platforms. You can see over time that you're going to get some momentum going, but it starts with massive action. It starts with you dedicating time. Okay, so that's the big one, is you have to dedicate time to this. This is not passive in that you upload 3 designs, and I've seen people do this. They upload 3 designs and then a week goes by and they say, well, I haven't made any sales. This isn't passive income at all. And it's like, well, right. I mean, you have to dedicate a lot of time to make Redbubble or Teepublic work. So I would recommend out of the gates, spend like an hour a night learning, an hour a night actually creating and uploading designs. Massive action for a year is what it takes to sort of get into the game. Now you could luck out. Okay, you could upload 3 designs and oh my goodness, I made a sale right away. It's possible, but think of it as buying a little lottery ticket every time. The more tickets you buy, the more chances you have at winning. The other thing is you're going to get all excited about this, and you're going to start, uploading designs, and then after about 6 weeks, when you're not making any sales, it's not fun anymore. And that's the thing I want to point out is, and there's been days when I'm not feeling particularly well, and I want to meet my quota of how many designs I want to upload every day. And I just got to sit down, put my butt in the seat, and get it done. And so you have to have a workman-like attitude to print on demand if you want to be successful in the long run. Now, hopefully you find this fun, right? I mean, it's better than digging a ditch in the middle of winter in Siberia somewhere. So you want to make sure that, you're having fun doing this, but make no mistake, there's days when you're not going to be into it, and that's okay. The other thing I want to point out is failure is going to happen, and it's going to happen a lot. And I'm going to get into this a little bit later on, but there's a thing here called the Pareto principle that I'll talk about, where basically the vast majority of what you do is not going to work. So just be aware of that when you start. I was not aware of this when I started. So I uploaded 100 designs, and then I was really shocked that like 98 of them didn't sell. I was like, well, what's the problem? Well, there is no problem. That's life. Life is that most of what you do is not going to work. So learn from it. Understand that this is normal, and enjoy the successes when they come, and they will come. If you put in the time and the energy, they will come. So I've got 3 big tips that I'd like to go through that I think you'll find helpful in the long run. 3 big tips, and I've got some examples in each of them. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is high quality designs. And I know you've heard this probably in the past. Make your designs the best. Make your designs high quality. And you're probably screaming into the ether, what does that mean? What does high quality mean? So I want to show you an example. So I'm going to go into Redbubble and I'm going to search for motivational. Okay, pretty popular genre. And we can see here there's 376 results. So I'm just using this as an example to highlight what's good quality. Okay, so good quality means it's easy to read, it instantly makes sense, like within a nanosecond it makes sense, and it strikes some sort of emotional response. So typically the reason that people buy stuff on Redbubble or Teepublic or wherever is because they're really excited about something and they want to display it, or they're really against something and they want to display it, or it could be a gift for someone. So they can go, okay, I love my grandma, here's a grandma t-shirt. But that's an emotional response. So think of emotion when you're looking through Redbubble designs. And you want to upload something that's got some meaning. So here I'm looking at motivational, and it's the most relevant designs. And we can see here, if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. That's easy to read. It's a sticker. Always stay humble and be kind. I like this, good vibes only. Easy to read, despite the tie-dye. That's a very retro-y, hippie looking feel to it, right? So as we scroll on down, we can see even on the first page, most relevant, there's still some areas to improve. Now, I'm not saying that these are good designs or bad designs. I'm just saying everyone's got a personal preference, and my personal preference is, for example, we'll be all right. Okay, that's a sticker, but notice there's like space in between the sticker, right? Here's one, God is greater than the highs, and it's like, can you imagine trying to apply that sticker? I mean, it's 3 different stickers, right? Which again, maybe by design, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just, you may want to upload a different type that's got like a round sticker like this happy thoughts. Happy thoughts, you could put that on a water bottle pretty easily, right? So that's just an example. Now, if you ever want to see designs that maybe aren't so great, instead of most relevant, you can go into the newest, because this is just now sorted by whatever's just happened to be uploaded last, right? So here we can see a bunch of different designs. And as I scroll on down, like this is a nice design. Easy to read, clean font. Okay. This one, maybe not so much, because it's not contrasting font. So it's hard to read from, especially from far away. Here's one that's a great idea. That's right, I'm perfect. But you can see that'd be really hard to put as a sticker because the bottom piece is not attached to anything. So it'd be like, do I really want to buy that, or do I just want to look for one that's one big sticker, right? This one's neat, but it's really hard to read, right? Don't worry about anything but pray about, and then everything, which is kind of the punchline, is like really tiny, right? And then there's like a little Bible verse here. Not saying it's the worst design in the world, but you can look at these and you can think, how can I make these better? Here's one, always stay humble and kind. Well, it's written in Disney font, which is a huge red flag, and it's squished. Like the font itself has been moved together. So not a huge fan of that, if I'm being perfectly honest. And as I continue to scroll down, I can see there's lots of ways you could join this niche. Now, I'm talking about the quality, the quality here. These are really nice shirts, okay? So what I would recommend is take a look at designs that you like, that you think would work, that you would personally buy. So go onto these sites and actually click the little favorite button, the little heart button, and you can save these designs. I'm not suggesting you're going to just steal them. That's not what I'm suggesting. But you can look at the way they're designed, the color schemes, the fonts, and you can recreate your own designs in a similar complementary image. So that's what I did. I went in and I thought, okay, I'm going to look at a design like this, and then whatever my sayings are, they're going to have that similar look and feel to it. These little things up at the top, these little fig leaves, these are little borders. Some people like those, some people don't. So it's, again, you're adding to the talk, like to the words here with these little arrows and with these little fig leaf things. And so you have to decide, do I want to have those on my designs or not? So you're going to take a good look at high quality designs and avoiding sort of the rookie mistakes that a lot of people use. Having things that are not centered, for example, that's a big one. Having things that are like this is a good example of a bath mat where it's actually centered. It's actually the same above and below. But there's lots that I see that are not like that. This one's got white font, on a white hoodie. Not the greatest design because it's hard to see. So you want to look, here's a great example of a power fist, but it's off center. Now maybe by design it may be off center, but probably not. And again, maybe the artist goes, I absolutely wanted it to have more black space on the top than underneath. I doubt it though. So this is something where if you're going to do a circular design on a clock, make sure it's centered, right? Here's a transparent sticker. That's, I look at the way it's written. Don't stop until you're proud. Keep going. It's all spelled correctly. Sometimes, there's spelling errors, right? Especially if English is your second language or third language. So these are things that you can have control over in your life. So you want to take a good hard look at the quality of your design and make sure that you've got the best high quality images, the best high quality fonts. Understand what works and what doesn't. All right, the second one, I'm actually going to jump over to Teepublic to walk through because we're going to switch it up here. And the second piece of the puzzle here that I put together is to satisfy a demand. And what I mean by that is finding something where people actually want to buy. So for example, I'm just going to type in, let's see here, search all designs, and I'll type in COVID-19. Now you got to think, a couple years ago, there were 0 results for COVID-19 because it didn't exist, right? So here is a genre that is very popular. I want you to wash your hands and stay at home. That's on the first page. Missing. Have you seen it? Obviously toilet paper joke, right? If you're in the middle of the quarantine, this is pretty funny, right? So there's a lot of different designs here that are related to COVID. That's one that you would want to look at. Another one is, for example, in 2020, there's a new president getting sworn in. So Joe Biden is a popular, trending design, right? So that's something where people are looking in here, regardless of, they don't know what the designs are going to be. They're not looking for a specific design. They're looking for a specific genre or a specific trending topic. So you can use Google Trends, you can use eRank, you can just go into Google and look up the shopping tab. There's a number of different ways you can look for trends, but I would recommend that you take a look at life, watch the news, join Facebook groups, talk to your friends and family. Even just when you're walking around the store, you may see, maybe you go to the Walmart or the Target or something, and you see people walking around wearing a shirt. Not the shirts on the rack, people wearing the shirt, because that's somebody who bought a shirt and is so proud about what they bought that they're wearing it. So that is something that you would 100% be kind of peeking at. And I'm always doing that. Whenever I'm out, my people watching is really shirt watching. I'm like, what are people wearing? Here we can do things like, for example, horoscope signs is a popular genre. And that's one that really never goes out of style because lots of people have, well, everybody's got an astrological sign, but lots of people like the idea of different horoscope designs. So these are beautiful. These Asian texts, this is wonderful, and you can see this pretty popular. It's on the first page, right? So these are some designs you could look at. Again, I will never suggest you're stealing the design, but you're looking at the genre. So this is what I did. I went through and I looked at popular genres, but popular genres that did not have a lot of results. So for example, let's pretend that I live in Omaha, Nebraska. So I'm going to type in Omaha as my search result. And you can see instead of 50 pages, I've only got 15 pages, 15. Well, that's not a lot of designs, right? These are pretty nice, but I'm sure they could, use a couple more. Let's go on Redbubble just for example, and just see, because I like the interface there a little bit better. When we see Omaha, and I'm just typing in one word, simple phrase, Omaha. How many designs will I get back? 3,800. That's not a lot of designs. Yes, it's a couple thousand, but it's not like it's 5 million, right? So again, you could make it even more specific if you wanted. Maybe you do Omaha, soccer. You type that in, and I've got 15. Okay, now I'm not suggesting you start ripping off Omaha professional sports teams. I don't mean that. But maybe there's like minor league soccer players that are playing in Omaha, like Pee Wee, like the little guys, the children are playing soccer. So you look at this result and you go, okay, maybe I live in Omaha and I play soccer and there's a whole bunch of soccer teams. And so I would have like Omaha soccer mom, Omaha soccer dad, Omaha soccer grandma. It's so specific that if somebody was living in that town and they had a shirt that said that and they show up to the soccer game, everyone's heads turned. And they go, oh my goodness, Betsy, isn't that a hilarious shirt? Because it says Omaha. It's like someone called you out in the crowd and said, I know you, you're special. So this is the idea, is you want to find these genres and then you drill down inside the genres and you make people feel special. So here's one. That's corn, beer, football. Now, if you don't live in Omaha or Nebraska, corn means nothing to you. You're looking at it going, why would I buy a corn t-shirt if I live in New York City? Well, you wouldn't. So this is designed for people that live near a cornfield, and cornfields are such a huge part of their life that it's on their t-shirt. So that's a great example of one that's local, has no trademark violation as far as I know. I mean, the word corn is just the word corn, but it's something about that. So corn, beer, football, that's a great design. And as you can see, there's only 15. So if I was, if I was going to, living in Omaha and I wanted to exploit a genre, a little niche, this is one I would look at. So that's an example of finding areas that not only are not much competition, but has the potential to actually have people buying in that niche. Okay, the third tip is about tagging and visibility, and this is probably the least fun piece because you get into Redbubble and Teepublic and Cafe Press and Zazzle and Etsy and Merch by Amazon. You get into all of these because you're excited about creating fish masks, and water bottle stickers and pancake t-shirts. You're not excited about search engine optimization and, the mathematical formulas behind why things appear on the first page versus the second page. So it's a bit boring and it's a bit frustrating because it's all behind the scenes computer nerd stuff, right? So I'm going to try to break it down here really easily because I'm not a huge expert where I spend hours and hours a day trying to figure out search engine optimization. It's relatively straightforward if you reverse engineer it. So here, let's take a look at Redbubble, and I'm just going to type in something here. Let's say I love welding. Okay, welding is a profession. The guy with the welding mask, and he's like, working on cars, or he's, welding metal together. So here we go. There's a picture, a silhouette of a welder. So there's 371 results for I love welding. So this would be a niche. You're not going to get thousands of people every day, pouring into welding because it's a specialty niche, right? But there's a few good designs here. I got sparks, I like that phrase, albeit not a fan of the white space. There's a sticker here with the welding, with a skull, welder's mask. I love welding, that's a pretty popular one. Hashtag love welding. So there's a bunch of stuff here. Now let's pick the top result. That's not completely copyrighted here. So we've got welder and we've got a couple machine guns or something here through them. Actually, let's pick this one because it's got the welding sparks. So I like that design. So I'm going to click on it, and this is what you would do with any design that you're excited about. You'd look at the design and you'd say, okay, scroll on down. You'd see it's available on a bunch of different products. And then you're going to look at, here's the tags. So way down at the bottom of the page, okay, so I'm at the top looking at the picture, scroll right down to the bottom, and you'll see here's all the reasons I was able to find it. Now it's on the first page of Redbubble, but it also may show up in a Google search as well. So welder stickers, weld stickers, welding stickers. We've got a bunch of different welding and play on words. So here's an interesting one, hooning stickers, right? So I'm going to go into Google and just type hooning stickers. And we can see Redbubble comes up. When I click on shopping, we can see there's the Welder King one, there's the Redbubble one. So again, it's a really specific search term, and I'm not suggesting that this is, that this would work for everybody. But when you click on hooning stickers, Redbubble pops up right away. So again, welding sparks, there's a bunch of different tags that you can use. So take a look at how many tags we've got. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 20, he's got about 30 stickers on here, or she. Then there's all product tags. So these are different ones. Now Redbubble adds these in as well, right? So the idea here is you've got tags that you yourself have entered. Now you can put in up to 50, and I would not consider this spamming because there's there's different plays on words, there's different types of genres that this person's looking at, but this would be an example of you want to have a good number of tags in here. This gets you into Google so that you'll show up in search results. People are going to find your sticker or your design in really two different ways. One is they're going to go onto Redbubble and search, or they're going to go into Google and search, and either way could get you to that sticker or to that design. So that's really important to understand the way tags work. Now I've got some videos about tagging, I've got some videos about stickers, I've got some videos about niche marketing, so I encourage you to watch those as well. And watch other videos on YouTube as well, because there's a lot of different tips and tricks about making sure your design can get seen. This is the big key here, is you can upload 1,000 designs, and I've seen this. People upload 1,000 designs and they go, I'm not getting any sales. Well, you go look at their store, they don't have any tags. They've just got like 4 tags. Well, you want to have like 30 tags, because that's going to help drive traffic, because people are searching for this stuff. So here's the bonus tip that I had promised at the start of the video. I'm going to type into Google this thing called the Pareto principle. And if you ever want to take an evening and read about it, it's pretty cool. It's also known as the 80-20 rule. So I'm just going to load this up. And the Pareto principle basically says that for many outcomes in life, so this could be for economics, wealth, sales on Redbubble, roughly 80% of the consequences come from 20% of the causes. So the idea here is that you're going to get about 80% of your sales from 20% of your designs. So I've got an example of this, and I just picked this person completely at random. I don't know them. I don't know any of the shops that I've looked at in this video, but here's just an example. Here's Cross the Line. They joined back in January 2019. They have 369 designs, which is not a huge amount. I think we would all agree. You know, there's lots of people that have 8,000 designs on Redbubble. This person has less than 400 designs. And as we scroll on down, we can see they're, pretty neat, regular designs. And as I scroll on down to the bottom, again, less than 400 designs, okay? There's 13,000, almost 14,000 favorited designs. Now, we don't know which of these designs are favorited, okay? We don't know. But if we search by relevant, okay, so most relevant, this means that by definition, Redbubble has put the top designs at the top, because Redbubble wants to sell your design, because they want to make money too. So a lot of times people look at this 13,900 and they think, oh, this person's all of their 369 designs must have been favorited a bunch of times. But that's not necessarily true. The Pareto principle, which is the 80-20 rule, would tell us that probably most of the favorites are in the top 12 or 13 designs. So these ones here are probably the most popular by a long shot, and that these ones down at the bottom probably hardly sell any. So these ones are good, but they're probably new, or they're not great sellers. The ones at the top, these are the ones that are selling the best, typically, big picture. And again, I'm guessing about this. So if you're looking at a shop on Redbubble and you're saying, okay, how do I get more sales? Well, one thing you can do is reverse engineer what's happening here. So you can see there's a certain type of sticker that seems to be popular, or a certain type of design. They're funny, they've got skulls, they're kind of masculine looking, they're kind of like, rebellious, that sort of idea. So that might be something. Again, I will never suggest you copy their design, but what I'm suggesting is the genre itself, the style itself, the way it looks. That's something you would want to do more research on. So that's just an example, one of many, many different stores on there. And the reason that I would highlight this store and I would take a deeper dive on it, or any similar store, is that they don't have a lot of designs, but they have a lot of favorites. And that means chances are, with the 80-20 rule, that the very first few are incredibly popular and the rest not so much. And we've seen this time and time again. If you go on Reddit threads or if you go into Redbubble discussion groups, people are going to say, I uploaded 1,000 designs, but I'm only getting sales on my top 20 designs. Is that normal? That is normal. You're not going to have a huge number of designs all selling consistently. You're going to have a few designs that sell amazingly well, and the remainder of the designs hardly sell anything, and that's totally normal. But that's not to discourage you, rather it's to say build up a portfolio. Here's a portfolio of less than 500 designs, and this person is getting pretty solid traction on these designs. Now, again, there might be social media involved. Maybe this person's got a store outside of Redbubble, or there's all sorts of reasons. But the general rule is the top designs are much, much more popular than the lower designs. So I hope you found that helpful. A little bonus tip in there for you at the end. I'm going to do a whole video about the Pareto principle and about 80-20, but for now, a little bit of a spoiler there. So I hope you guys found this helpful. As always, please like, please subscribe. I really appreciate you guys' feedback, and hopefully you found this helpful on my journey to reaching 10,000 print-on-demand sales. I know you can do it. Put in the time, put in the effort. I believe in you. Thanks for watching.